Hey, greetings and salutations. Don't mind the humming in the background, that's my air conditioner. And without it, I would die in this garage because it's still hot in Texas. Feels like 105. It's temperature's 97. It feels like 98 in the shade and 105 in the sun. 36% humidity. That didn't sound like a lot. Could be worse. Could be worse. Today I'm going to do something I haven't done in many years. I'm going to do some maintenance on my plasma cutter. Underneath this shrink wrap is my hypertherm dual voltage plasma cutter, and you can tell I haven't used it since I moved here because it's still wrapped up in the shrink wrap, and I have some maintenance issues I need to deal with. I need to repair the ground cable because there's a couple of bad spots in it, and I need to get a cable where the power cable goes into the back, the little plastic dealio. I had it sitting on the floor and prump, and I stepped on the cable and broke the little plastic keep that keeps the cable intact into the back of the cabinet. And then primarily I need to replace the electrode whip because it's, metal's been dropped on it, metal's been, molten metal been blown onto it. There's holes in this. I made an attempt to repair it, and I finally broke down a while back, and I bought a new cable. I opened the box the other day. It's been sitting here for over a month. I opened the box the other day because it felt pretty light, and I thought, this probably doesn't have the the gun on it, and it doesn't. That's where the gun goes. And this is why you buy, if you're going to buy a plasma cutter, this is one of the reasons that I recommend you buy a brand like Hypertherm, because inevitably it's going to need some maintenance done to it. Now you can buy a cheap plasma cutter on like Amazon or eBay. You can get into a plasma cutter, like a 30 amp plasma cutter like this, for a home hobbyist use for a few $100s. The question becomes whether or not you can get the consumable bits, the parts that wear. And if you have to replace a whip, are you going to be able to buy one? I'll tell you that this whip right here cost $130, which means that if you buy a cheap plasma cutter for $300 and you have to replace the whip and it costs half the price of the plasma cutter, you're faced with the question of, do I just replace the entire thing? And a lot of people would just say, well, fuck it, I'll just go buy a new plasma cutter for $300 and do the whole process over again, which seems kind of stupid to me. Buy once, cry once. That's not always the case, but for things like this, I think the smart money is invest in the quality tool, and then if you have to maintain it later on down the line, the parts are available. This machine I bought new in 2007, I think, 2007 or so. And I've just used it. I haven't done much to maintain it, and it's been abused, and now I need to go through it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to start by cutting this thing open, getting all this shrink wrap off of here, and then we'll look at what needs to be repaired, because you can't see anything now. So do that. All right, I'm going to go against my better judgment here. I'm going to read the instructions. And one of the things about the instructions that's kind of nice is that it tells you exactly what you're going to need to make this repair, at least this repair. All right, well, let's look at what needs to be fixed. Here's the working the electrode. That's the part you hold in your hand. Here's the ground cable. And come on, It's got a bunch of burns in it, but this is a pretty, that's not good. I mean, it's not completely broken, but I do want to fix that. So I'm going to have to lose, looks like about 3 feet of cable. I'll shorten this down, reattach it to this. According to the instructions here, the first step is to remove the end caps and the handle, and take the cover off. So let's do that. All right. I need to push this up. This is the hose for the air. There. And I need to follow this wire over to this side, unplug it. Unplug these, take these wires off, and then I can loosen that nut and pull the whip out. That seems easy enough. Let's see where this goes. There. Oops, dropped it. Where'd it go? There. There. It's compression fitting. Well, that seemed easy enough. All right, well, look at this. Maybe I'll get lucky, and because this is still on here, maybe I'll get lucky and this can be used to repair this. Let's hope. Okay, so let's see here. I got exactly the same. I just need to put this together in reverse. Let me pull this off, and we'll shove things through that and put the whip back on. Oh, there, Skippy. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Alright, I had to hit this with a heat gun because those fingers were, tapered down, and that rubber has to go inside of there. So I just took my little Harbor Freight heat gun and just warm that up, and those fingers relaxed and they opened right up, and now I can put this back together like so. This really is kind of a pain in the ass with one hand. All right. Look at that. Outstanding. Well, that's the machine side of the whip. Now I need to put the gun on this side. But let me show you why I'm doing this. See that? Hole. See that? Hole. There's another almost hole. See that? There's a hole in there too. So, oh, and here's another one. Oh, look at that one. That one's really decorated. You know, cutting things and grinding things and dropping things. You know, you'd be cutting along and the whip's underneath whatever you're cutting, and you're just pouring the freaking molten lava into your freaking whip, and it's burning holes in it. And then you cut through and you sever the part that you're cutting, and it goes smash, and it just chops the crap out of it. Yeah, that's what happened. And I tried to fix it with shrink tubing, and it slowed it down a little bit, but it didn't stop it from leaking. And if you don't know how a plasma cutter works, inside of here is where all the pixies come together, and the voodoo magic happens, and it creates a very hot plasma arc, thousands and thousands of degrees hot, and then air gets pumped through this hose, and it blows air through the tip, and the plasma arc melts the metal, and the air blows it out of the way. Well, if you got a bunch of holes in your whip, you're losing air pressure. That's no good, especially when you start getting into the thicker metals. This one's capable of, I think, 1/2 inch almost. I've severed 1/2 inch. It doesn't do it very well, but it'll do it. But right now I need to take this off and put this torch on the new whip. Well, lucky me. Turns out that when I stepped on this, it just pulled the nut, this little nut here. So that goes in through like that, and then that nut goes in through that bulkhead and tightens down on it. Apparently, these nuts are flexible enough to where if you step on the cord, it'll just pop the nut right off the threads. It wasn't broke, so I put it in there and screwed it back down and tightened it down, and it's fixed. So I will put this one in my little cubby here. And if I need to replace it, I'll replace it. God, I can't see anything with them on. Whoa! Let me inspect really close this cord, this ground cable, and put together a plan on how to repair that. All right, looks like just take that that bolt out of there and unbolt that. I'll have to put a new eye so I can screw that back on. See if I got some shrink wrap that I can put around those handles and make that a little more ergonomic. So what's the point of this video? Well, the bottom line is that it doesn't matter what you spend on tools, eventually they're going to need maintenance. And this hypertherm plasma cutter, I think I paid right around $1,000 for. I bought it off of eBay, brand new. I think I paid just under $1,000 for it. I think they're about 1,200 bucks now. This has been my main cutting tool since 2007, and I don't know if you've noticed or not by the look of the original work lead. It got used heavily. That's another advantage of buying a brand like Hypertherm, is that you probably only going to buy it once, and most people are going to use it for a lifetime and never have any issue with it. I've been using this for God, 14 years already. Wow. I've been using this for 14 years and it's never failed me. I've never had an issue with it. I've used it beyond its duty cycle and it timed out, but that's to be expected when you're trying to cut half-inch steel in a machine that's capable, that's rated for 3/8. Maybe you need a bigger machine. They make bigger ones. Yeah, the question you need to ask yourself, if you're considering buying a cheap plasma cutter, it looks like they've got a lot of consumables available now. But there again, what happens when you need to, replace an electrode or a gun or the ground cable? Are those parts available? Are you going to have to jimmy rig the thing together? And if you can get a new whip, is it going to cost you half the price of the machine? And at the end of the day, are those machines really a value if you're, having to replace them every 5 years? I don't know. Too soon to tell. Maybe I'll get one. Maybe I'll get one of those cheap ones and put it to the test and see how it compares to this hypertherm. This hypertherm PowerMax 30 has been a joy to use. I've done a lot of fab with it, and I just figured it was time now while I'm down and I don't have a air compressor readily available to go ahead and do a little maintenance on it. So I wish you could fire it up and test it for you, but I don't even think I have any steel around here to test it on. That being said, thanks for watching. I hope that this video was informative and maybe entertaining, and if it was, smash the like button, share it with your vast social media button. If it wasn't, smash the like button, share it with your vast social media network. If you want to support the channel, check the links in the description to Amazon affiliate links where you can do all your Amazon shopping. Any purchases that you make through those links in the description, the channel can earn a little bit of commission. If you shop on Amazon, I'd appreciate if you do that. If you want to throw me a couple of bucks, PayPal, there's a link to that, and Patreon if you want to support on a monthly. Like, share, do all the things, comment down in doobly-doo, and until next time, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep proud of dry, have a splendid day. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.